Function requires multiple people. Sure, someone can exhibit toxic behavior by themselves, but it's only when you get more than one person together, living together, that this toxic energy manifests on each other. It becomes a high chemical called dysfunction, and there is an explosion of the fiery hell of a burnt life. You get burnt out living with others. If you live with someone else, you're never going to live life how you want to live it. There's no way around it. You can daydream, okay? You can go in your basement, you can go in your attic, you can have your own room, but all you're doing, okay, is delusion. But on the flip side of that, very few people have the personality or the willingness to live alone. They talk a good game. They complain to their friends, their family, and everyone who will listen that things aren't fair, they're not happy. But at the end of the day, the truth is they don't want to live alone, or they just, that's not their personality. Infinity, great to see you. I appreciate you. I'm the most engaged YouTuber. I'll read the comments and I appreciate the comments. Infinity, shout to you. I reflect on my life and I've seen dysfunction with people living together. My family members, friends, and people I know in life. I see people repress their dreams because their dreams are not the same people with the people they live with. Peyton Nolan, what's up, brother? Crazy how even with all the knowledge, people can't be intense enough to move on. Never forget emotion. Emotion rules knowledge. Even for myself, that's a very hard thing to beat. We've all been broken. I've been broken. I remember crying in my 20s that I wanted someone to live with. I wanted a relationship. I kind of always knew that I wanted to be alone. But I want to tell you that we are all human, myself included. We all have flaws, myself included. And to me, that's why I said, well, I'd rather live alone. I don't want to cause anyone problems because I don't think too highly of myself. And I don't want someone else to cause me problems because I don't want to destroy my life for someone who is not at the same level I am. That's what happens when you live with someone. It's a wrestling match and you can't win. Why? Because there is no count to 3 and there's a champion. All there is count 30 days and then repeat that every month, every mortgage payment, every rent payment, every day. Same thing. A renovation is the ultimate delusion. It's if you change the paint colors, your life color changes. But your life doesn't change. You just keep going to Home Depot. And Home Depot is the place you renovate hell. Hell is constantly being renovated. What is hell? Hell is a place where your spirit is an internal suffering. And you don't know suffering until you live with someone and you're not living your life on how you want to live it. Now, it is true that you're going to feel sadness when you're living alone. There's no perfect life. And this is what makes you curse God. Twista, good to see you. Twista, Infinity, Peyton Nolan. Who is the most engaged person? At the end of the day, though, don't let me start to beat my own drum. Why? Because people who play drums are psychopaths. I had some guy playing the drums over the weekend. He almost, like hurt my eardrums. He was like snapping a drum. I was like, what is this guy, a psychopath? And that's when the Lord showed me everyone who plays drums is a psychopath, including the guy that Kourtney Kardashian is dating. And if you live with someone and they play drums or the electrical guitar, okay, forget about it. You're done. Okay, what are you going to do? So what should you do in life? You should date, but you should live alone. You should have your own RV, your own house, your own room. Now, there's some exceptions, and I see a lot of people say, look, I don't want to live with other people. It's hell. But then they can't live alone because it's not perfect either. I don't live a perfect life. So no one lives a perfect life, guys. I'm not trying to make more of myself or my situation, but I want to tell you, I always question why people living in a house with many people are watching Law and Order obsessed with YouTube. Why? Because it's a disaster. Damn it. Shout out to Journey with Jordan. He's no longer on a journey. He's just Jordan. He goes, oh my God, I play the drums. Well, that's why you're listening, Jordan, to white noise watching crime documentaries. Because I remember I saw that comment you left the other week. One is, Jordan, I love you. I respect you. Never forget that. You've been a blessing to me. I love you. But I want to tell you, see, you're playing the drums. You listen to white music to go to bed. Like not white music, like white noise music. Like what do they call it? Like AMSR, the psychopath thing. And you're watching crime documentaries to plan out the perfect crime. You're like Brian Laundrie. Don't do it to yourself. And another red flag is, you change your YouTube tag name. There's so many red flags. Now, Journey, I love you. It's no disrespect. But I can only share with you what I see in my life. Like, what did I tell you, Jordan? What did I tell you when you left a comment talking about you listen to white noise music and you watch crime documentaries? So you said, well, Sam, what would you do if someone did that? So I wouldn't live with them. Yeah. That's so you said, well, what if your mom does that? What if hey guys, I don't live with anyone. Now look, if my mom needs to live with me, we're not watching crime documentaries. Well, now I get my mom her own TV, but you know what I'm saying? So I want to tell you, you've never seen hell until you've seen a mother and daughter live together. I want to tell you right now, you haven't seen Satan until you've seen a mother and a daughter live together. I want to tell you right now. And if you think you're going to get in between that mess, you're out of your mind. Okay? So I don't know what to tell you because I respect everyone. I know I'm sharing very intense. Forgive me for that if I'm hurting anyone. But we're going to go back to these live comments. Why? Because these other people's, they got chats filled of psychopaths with blue wrenches. Any YouTube channel that has blue wrenches, it's a sign they're a psychopath. Why? Yeah, they need to reward people with some blue wrench authority that you can block other psychopaths out of life feed. They're too lazy to even manage their own life. They can't even manage their own life feed. So blue wrenches for the L. Okay, living with other people, guys. If you like tag team wrestling, yeah, you might as well. That's what you're doing. And if you have some dreams, some desires. Good evening, Christina. All right, look, we're going back to these live comments. Twisted. Sam, these clowns have nothing in you. You're fully engaged. Well, thank you. I mean, a little bit. Thank you, number one. Number two is I boast about that a little bit, but you got to toot your own horn a little bit. Because I do. Look, I'm seeing other people run their channels and they're not engaged. Okay. Like it's, they're not really focused. And I'm saying to myself, well, that's one way to do it. Okay. But then I said to myself, if someone has a YouTube channel and said, we're going to do a get together, we're doing a free giveaway. Okay. And they treat you like a baby. They give you a blue wrench. Yeah. They might as well give you a blue bib. Okay. And say, it's nighttime. Okay. Nah, I don't want to do that. I love you guys. Jordan, I love you. I respect you. Be careful with those drums, even though some people made successfully out there with those. Again, this is just my opinion. Paid it on. You got it. Travis Barker is Kardashian's husband. Well, what number? Number 2, 3? Yeah. He almost died in a plane crash a few years ago. Yeah. Well, I can tell you guys, we know the track record of those who date the Kardashians. Okay. What's dysfunction? Remember, from the beginning of my live feed, what did I say? Dysfunction requires multiple people. Toxic behavior can be exhibited by one person. As an example, you're a psychopath. You're playing your drums by yourself. Yeah, it may be a little bit wild. And you're listening to AMSR music or white noise music. And you're watching crime documentaries while you play the drums. And yeah, it's a little bit like, that's pretty wild. But it doesn't get dysfunction until you live with your parents. Until you have a shared apartment, okay? Until you're playing the drums. Okay, they're playing fantasy football while they smoke weed. Weed is the scent of underperformance. Your other relatives in the bathroom pulling out her hair, clogging up her sink. Then there's one person in the basement. They want to move to Florida, but they're probably never going to get out of their current house. And all you have in that house is a bunch of broken dreams, drugs, loud drums, and dysfunction. So you have a choice in life, guys. You can live alone, be sad, but I think it's better to live alone and spend quality time visiting people you love than living with people and living in hell. In my opinion, you spend more quality time with people when you visit them because you're not under pressure to live with them. Living with them is hell. You say, I saw a beautiful married couple. I was so envious. You don't live with them. I remember talking to a married couple. I said, these people are the best. And they were good people. But I tell you, you spend enough time with them, you realize, oh, they're paying their dues, okay? Because they living through some hell. Okay. Shout out to you again, Christine. Shout out to you, Charles. You're out there killing it. You're engaged. Okay. Every day, God willing, we show up. Okay. Why? Because that's what we do. All right. Let's go to these live comments. I'm going to take a hydration break. What I want to tell you tonight, you got two options. Either you're going to direct your life, okay, or you're going to have to close your door and put in your earbuds. Why? Because other people living in that same house have other ideas of what heaven is and what hell is. See, what you may perceive as hell, they may perceive as heaven. For me, guys, I hate horror movies. For all the psychopaths that's getting ready to be Halloween, guys, they're getting fired up. They're going to be going to all types of horror events. Okay, they're going to be doing drugs. They're going to be scaring the shit out of themselves. Why should you never watch horror movies? It's self-induced post-traumatic stress, PSTD. Every time you watch a horror movie, you're creating post-traumatic stress. Every time you watch a crime documentary, you're creating post-traumatic stress. Every time someone plays the drums, post-traumatic. It's like fireworks for a dog. You ever see a dog when fireworks go off? That's what it's like when someone plays the drums next to you. So what I want to tell you is this, guys. If you're not stressed enough, well, why don't you just live with someone else and totally get stressed the F out? Now, I want to tell you this. I believe quality time visiting people is better than living with people. Okay. Like Wu-Tang Clan said, what do you believe in, heaven or hell? You can't believe in heaven because we living in hell. And if you thought Staten Island was hell, you haven't been to swamp-ass Tennessee when Jordan is playing his drums at night. And who knows what else is going on in the house? And I love Jordan. You know, I respect him. He's been very positive to me. I'm just trying to make the point, okay? You do whatever you want. See, guys, you can say inspirational nomad, screw you. I like to play drums. I like to watch crime documentary. Well, remember, guys, you don't live with me. You can do whatever you want. Okay. But I want you to honestly ask yourself, who do you live with? And how is that environment? Is it healthy or is it toxic? Do you daydream about a different life or are you happy with your life? Do you fantasize about football on Sunday? Do you threaten to do something different, but you stay right where you stay? You ain't doing nothing different. You do nothing different, you're going to get nothing different. Jason, what's up, brother? Sam, I checked my blood pressure today. It was 183 over 155. I'm doomed. Should I take pills or change my diet? Well, one is I'm not a doctor, and two is I haven't given you a physical exam, okay? And I'm not gay, and I don't mean to say that gay. But what I'm trying to tell you is if I was a doctor, one is I would not give that recommendation without giving you a full exam, looking at all your medical records, and, you know, seriously considering what's the least risk, most reward situation for you. So the one thing I can tell you I would definitely do if I was a doctor, the number one thing I would tell you got to do is you got to eat better, you got to exercise more, and you got to get the proper rest, don't take naps. That's the number one thing. 90% of doctors recommend that, and you can't beat that. Now, I know what it is, though. I know, you know, my mom and other people, they're not going to, you know, it sounds good, but that's not the reality of life. So, you know, I understand that. I understand, like, you can't tell a big person to eat better, exercise. It's like, so, again, that's why I would have to look at your history on your medical records, and I would have to understand, see, as someone who doesn't, I understand the medical industry, and I also understand psychology. So I understand, like, I could tell you to exercise, eat right, but I would have to look at your, you know, I would have to understand you better, sit down with you, like I said, do a full comprehensive evaluation. So there's no way I can in good conscience give you any recommendation without knowing all those factors, because I would just be shooting hot air. So one is, again, empathy to you, because when I went through health problems, it's the most scary, humbling thing. But the only thing I will say that you can turn it into good, it put a fire under my ass to live a better life. So I hope that you keep me posted. But I want to, give you honest and fair advice. Charles, I'm watching you on the beach. Can't get any better than that. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Tampa. Go back to Florida soon. It'll be soon. We're already in the first week of October. Before you know it, it'll be the end of October. But see, I'm enjoying time with my mom. Why? Because it's quality time. It's not forced time. I can leave at any time. And again, look, if you need to live with other people or other people need to live with you, you got to have boundaries and you got to live your own life. And you got to ask who's in control. Who pays the bills and who has the mental and physical capacity to run the house? See, what happens is people who are on disability who don't pay rent, they run the house in some households. That's dysfunction. See, guys, if you don't take charge of the house, now look, even a person who is paying the bills, taking care of the house, they have to be fair. But not everyone is fair, whether they pay the bills or whether they don't. And that's why I tell you, I don't trust anyone. Because even if they're fair and even if they're loving, they may feed you too much. They may holler too much. They may play the drums too much. So it's like no one knows you like you. No one wants to live with you like you. No one wants to do what you want to do. So again, do shared living arrangements work out? For some people, they do, but most people are depressed. Most people have put their dreams on hold until someone in their house dies. Most people, okay, in my experience in life, are operating under dysfunction. And dysfunction is multiple people living together in a toxic environment. See, one person can exhibit toxic behavior, but it's only when you get multiple people together and that toxic behavior becomes dysfunction. And what I want to tell you is you have a choice based on your individual circumstance. Just like I told Jason, there is no way I can tell everyone out there that I don't know their entire situation. And remember, no one tells you their 100% entire situation. They always leave something out. So I cannot tell you what to do and how to do it. And I can tell you this, though, even if you live alone, it's not going to be perfect. But for me, it's better. As much as you can. If you ever spend time with elderly people, what's the last thing they want to give up? Their independence. Okay. Why? Because they don't want to go back to being a child. Why? Because when you're a child, you got to live with other people. You got to do as they say. I wonder why people who love having children don't like being children. Because they like being in control. They don't like other people controlling them. That's why I tell you, don't have kids. And so this is my testimony tonight. We're going all live comments. Shout out to Charles. He goes, everybody is smiling and walking the beach. Hey, I believe that the quality of life in Florida is overall better than 90% of the United States of America. I do. But there's certainly dysfunction in Florida. There's certainly bad parts of Florida. Nothing is perfect, but there is a better life. And I hope that these videos don't tell you what to do, but they push you to a better direction. But you have to choose it. You're an adult. I don't have any blue wrenches in here because I don't treat you like babies. You don't take what I say out of context. You have your own individual circumstance. You have to do the research. You have to do the work. And you have to work your life. Maybe you are better living with someone else. Maybe you just got to work on yourself. But for me, I think that living with other people, for most people, is hell. I think they bitch and moan that they're going to do something different, but I don't think they're going to do shit. Am I mad at them? No, because I empathize. I emotionally understand and relate that it is very hard to do. So I don't judge, even though I know I'm talking very brashly and boldly, but also I don't cohabitate because I also don't want to engage in dysfunction. You say, well, not every person who lives with other people are dysfunctional. Hey, guys, like I say, in my life experience, 80 to 90% of society is depressed and unhappy. Okay. So, it's like you really got to work hard to show me a lot of healthy living situations. You really do. So, but again, I'm not saying my situation is perfect. You guys see my imperfect life. I go live every day. Not once a week, not once a month. I don't make a video once a month and they say, oh, they're on an upswing. I make a video every day so you can see real life. Some people don't want to see real life. They only want to see you when you're on your ups or your downs or whatever. I show you everything. Just about as much I can. Remember, no one shows you 100%. But I think overall, from what I've seen, I show you the most. I'm engaged the most. There's no blue wrenches, you guys, and I appreciate that. Paid it on. You said something about making someone feel guilty on purpose as a type of abuse. It's an emotional abuse tool. A guilt trip is emotional abuse. Okay? And people who do it know it. Because I remember even when I was dating an Asian MILF, she said, Sam, we split everything half financially. And we were getting into it like, not in a fight, but we were talking months later. And she was basically saying, look, I was saying, look, well, we're doing everything half. She goes, yeah, but it has to be emotionally equal too. Okay. See, someone can't just pay half the bills, but then emotionally put you through hell. Because you're paying a price emotionally. Now, again, if you don't like where you're at, it's not their job to make you like where you're at. It's your job to leave. Now, again, I'm not speaking to parents with young children. I'm not speaking to people who can't do it for themselves. I'm not speaking to every situation. My videos, my channel's for adults. No blue wrenches. Every video is for adults only. And this is adult talk. This is the type of talk you have with yourself, not with your children, with yourself when you're an adult. That you ask yourself, am I living in hell? And am I creating PTSD in my life? Am I watching horror movies? Am I watching crime documentaries? And then, instead of changing that behavior, am I then listening to white noise music to put me to sleep? Am I playing the drums at an obsessively loud amount? Is this making me happier? Or is this making me more delusional? I don't know the answer. Again, I don't know your medical records, your mental health, your physical health. There's no way I can evaluate everyone off this right here. Okay. And so all I can give you is my general experience in life. Okay. That most people living with other people are so unhappy they look forward to a vacation. A vacation is a getaway from your real life. We learned this, guys, with remote work. Most people wanted to go back to the office, get the hell away. But I understand that some of it's needed because you need balance. But to me, I have to make that life observation. It's like, I don't think, this is my opinion, that most people like living with other people. However, I don't think most people like living alone. So people get mad. I don't care. This, I got to share what I've seen. Thank you very much, Gianna. So I don't think there's anything wrong if you live with other people and you want to break and you don't want to work remote. Everyone's different. But I also think, okay, that you got to share your life. Because I don't know, you may be giving me some advice, but you're taking a high level of fentanyl. Okay. I don't know what's in your, prescription pill thing. I don't know how much alcohol you had tonight. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I mean, guys, look, it's like, people want me to evaluate but I don't know what's going on in your medicine closet. Okay. And that's why I don't want to live with you, because you don't want to know what's going on in most people's closet, Okay. You don't want to know. Okay. You don't want to know what drink they're pouring. Okay. They don't show you that on camera, how many pills they're popping. Now, look, like Jason was saying, maybe they need to take pills, but I would also want to know what's causing the high blood pressure. I mean, there's so many things you have to know. There's no way to give one diagnosis. Okay. But I want to tell you this. Someone's going to call you at one point in life that they're complaining about the people they live with. But they're doing drugs. They're watching horror movies. They're destroying their life. And they want you to don't tell them nothing. Don't get involved. Living with other people, getting involved with other people is hell, Satan. And they watch Satanist movies. Yeah. And then they ask you, I got to listen to some AMSR music or some white noise music and put themselves to sleep. And they took a nap. Okay. Yep. And yeah. Hey guys, look, I would want to get back to the office too if I was living with that. Yeah, guys, one of my biggest life goals was to work remote. But if I was living with someone, guys, and they were taking naps and they were watching horror movies and they were playing the drums and they were watching crime documentaries, I would say, get me back in the office. Get right now. And God forbid, guys, I'll tell you right now, this is the truth. They don't want to hear it. But I'm not saying anything hurtful. As this is healthy. You're living an unhealthy life. You're hurting each other. You fight with each other. You emotionally abuse each other. You abuse yourself. And then you lash out on someone who preaches a wholesome, good message. And that's why, guys, you better live below your means, because Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? And the only message you can preach is that of babysitter talk. Blue wrenches, a blue bib, a blue pill. Okay, who knows what's in that blue pill? Okay, and everything, guys, is hell. I want you to listen to Wu-Tang Clan tonight. What do you believe in, heaven or hell? You can't believe in heaven because we're living in hell. You say, but you don't understand. I have to live with them. I have to, guys, look, you forget that it's not my job to figure out your life. It's all of our own jobs to figure out our own lives. We can encourage, support, try to enlighten or share or build. That is all of our jobs in a healthy way. But it's not my job to tell you do this, do that. I'm not. Guys, I got big enough decision about my home base. Okay. So what I can tell you is click that thumb up. You want to leave a comment. I'm the most engaged YouTuber, guys. Okay. I don't walk away from the screen. I don't start the live feed and wait 15 minutes for other people to come in. I know the message I'm here to preach. I preach it. Okay. Hal, what's up, brother? What's good, my brother? Great day at the job. Good. You're killing it. I was killing it. We're on the same page. I'm going more and more comfortable doing my job. Well, that's what happens when you get a job, you stay with a job. You don't get into the medical industry, then become a police, courtroom officer, then go back to hotel. You get with a job, you stay with a job for at least 3 years, unless it's a toxic job, unless it was a replacement job. But if you're overall happy, if you're getting acknowledged, if you're getting supported, stay with your company, stay at your role for at least 3 years. Why? That's champion talk. Okay. People who bounce around, that's bad career talk. Okay. And how you got everything it takes. The number one asset you got is personality. Number two, as long as you can show up consistently. And number three is you're 6'6". You got a presence where if you're tall and you're positive, it's like a big teddy bear. Okay. And I know teddy bear supposedly is like a cue for all types of crazy stuff, but I'm not. It's just bottom line, how is I'm giving you a compliment that you are a champion. Okay. And that what you have to focus on, in my opinion, you do what you want because I don't know you like you. In my opinion, what you got to focus on this season of your life is just consistency. Nothing more, nothing less. Keep it simple. Show up, stay out of trouble. Show up, stay out of trouble. Watch those direct deposits add up. Watch your resume add up. See, this year you started with this company you're working with in 2021. In 3 months, you're now going to have on your resume, you worked with this company from 2021 to 2022. And then next year, you're going to have from 2021 to 2023. And then the following year from 2021 to 2024. And that's when you go to another dimension. But when you worked for Chick-fil-A for 2 months, you worked for the hospital for 1 month, you worked for Judge Judy for 4 months, when you're bouncing around, guys, it's hell, okay? Because you know what? You haven't built a foundation on reliability, consistency, and perseverance. It's not easy, but this is the best advice I can tell you. Let's take a hydration break. Click that thumbs up. Share this video with everyone you live with. Why? Because they don't want to hear nothing I got to say. They don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Why? Because I don't know too many people living with others that are very happy. They all go in their separate room. They listen to their separate phone. And I think it's hell. But there are some exceptions. I think you should visit people, visiting people, quality time, living with people, hell. Again, some people, they like relationships. I understand this. Living alone can bring sadness. But like I said, guys, if you're living a dysfunctional life, there's no other sales pitch but that. If you're living a dysfunctional life, the sales pitch is dysfunction is death. Okay. Inspiration is life. And you know when you're living dysfunction versus inspiration. And you know when you share your inspiration, how people react. How do they react when you say you like Florida? Do they bring up sharks? How do they react, okay, when you bring up tofu? Do they bring up, oh, that's nasty? How do they react when you say you don't want to drink? How do they react when you say you don't like crime documentaries? How do they react when you say you don't like fantasy football? How do they react? Body language is 80% of the conversation. I want to tell you this very important story. I remember this. There was this one Puerto Rican chick I was digging. I did a couple. But there was this one. I never dated her, but I liked her. Okay. And this was in my mid-20s. I brought my friend with me to like this little like very generic get-together. Okay. And he was an older guy. And he said, Sam, where's that girl you've been telling me about that you like? And I said, oh, you know, she's coming here now. So she came to where we were at. You know, we had talked. It wasn't a club. It was a very like laid back event. And, you know, we had talked. My man was just like, you know, watching, playing the cut. And when she left, the guy looked at me like, you know, like this. And I go, what's up? He goes, Sam, she's not into you, man. I go, what you mean? He goes, man, you see her body language? She wasn't engaged at all. Like, she wasn't like, her body language was not engaged with my energy. It was very dismissive. And I kind of get it, but I needed someone to tell me that. I needed someone to smack me out of my delusion. See, I'm over here playing the drums in my mind. Okay. And my man, he told me very, you know, respectfully, but it was like, I said, she's not into you. And he was right, 100 emoji. And even if I would have forced it, because you could force it, I would have been living in hell. I wouldn't be doing live feed right now. I don't know what I'll be doing, guys. I'll be doing a renovation. I'll be in my basement. Okay. I'll be talking about, oh, I really want to go to Florida one day. Yeah, like that. Yeah, go tell someone you live with that you want to go to Florida. See how they react. Okay. Now you say, oh, damn, you're killing me, Inspirational Nomad. I say, hey, guys, look, I'm not living with you. I ain't killing you. Okay. All right, let's go back to these live comments. How? The president of the hospital saw me doing some extra cleaning of the vents because of my height. I knew something was going to happen with this height. And started talking to me. See, you got a great presence. You say, is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. Use your gifts. You know, like I say, guys, I have the gift of gab. Okay. So I use it. Okay. I don't manipulate with my gift. I use it. Okay. So if you have a gift of height or beauty or brains or whatever, okay, if you're short, you could be a jockey. You could ride a horse. Use what you have. Okay. You know, that's not wrong. That's wisdom in a healthy, non-manipulative way. And then goes, the president of the hospital saw you doing some extra cleaning because of your height and started to talk to me. She was asking me how I was liking the job and where do I see myself in 5-10 years. I hope you didn't tell her you see yourself as a courtroom officer. Let's see what you said. He goes, it was like a little interview. Every conversation is an interview. And if you're not engaged, if you're not into it, then they look at you like you're dismissive. Okay. And there's some people, guys, they're so dismissive. You can't, you know, when you're talking to people, if you act like other people in your conversation got the blue wrench and you're just going to take it easy and let them figure it out, you're going to get hit with a blue wrench in your life. and it's going to be a disaster. That's true. He goes, Hal, it was like a little interview. She told me about a few other departments in the hospital. This is called networking. This is called relationship building. This is called business. And this is why you show up, because this is how it happens. He goes, he's telling about other departments where I can grow some more. My work ethic is finally being seen. You only been there 4 months. When you're there 4 years, that's when it's really on display. And that's why I tell you, your best thing now is just keep showing up. How? My network game is going on. See, you knew what I was saying. I didn't even get to that comment yet. Good job understanding the network. How? I told her I wanted to be a GM of hotel. Well, if that's what you want to do, that's what you should do. So, look, again, I would never tell you what to dream. That's your right to dream how you want. But like I tell you, if you know that you don't want to work in the medical industry, then, like I say, then you should transition to the hospitality. But then you just got to know you're restarting the shot clock. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to do, your biggest thing now is your middle age. You don't want to waste years of your life if you want to do something different. Because right now, what you got to do is you got to dig into an industry that you're going to stay at least 5 years. And you got to stay there. Okay. Let's continue. Gianna, did you use to get in trouble at school for gift of gab? No, because I was very shy for the younger years. And then the middle years, high school, I wasn't shy. But I was never a troublemaker. Certainly I was around trouble at times, but I was never a troublemaker. I was never a loudmouth. I was never a con artist. I was just a guy in the cut. Overall, just a good, decent, in the cut, cool, funny, just don't fuck with me guy. I wasn't, anything other than that. So, it's like, for me, again, like, even if, for those who have met me in real life, they're not like, for me, I'm not out there preaching on street corners. I'm very much to myself. I only speak up when need to. And that's it. I avoid trouble, especially, now, but yeah, in school, in school, I was just trying to pass, do what I got to do and get the hell out of there. That's it. And trying to avoid conflict for the most part. So that was that's pretty much, I evolved a little bit, but that's pretty much still my MO. People don't change that much. You know what I mean? How? I am just getting my experience everywhere. I need to know all these areas. Well, yeah, but like I say, don't get experience in something you don't want to keep doing. Like I say, the best thing is you got a job when you needed a job. You always got to, when you don't have a job, you got to do what you got to do. But now that you got a job, and now if you know you want to do something different and you're committed to it, you got to really think about then what do you want to do next? Because, like I said, congratulations to you for working, for doing what you need to do for yourself. There's no, you should be applauded for that. But if you know you want to do something different, I don't want to tell you to just waste years of your life. Thank you, Cartoon Mark. Great to see you. I love you. It's like, again, no, everyone's got to figure that out for them. Okay. Like I said, guys, I work construction, not because I wanted to, but because I had to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And as soon as I could, I got out of it. And I worked in a cubicle. And I did that for as long as I had to do it. And then as soon as I could work remote, and it took me a while, I got to get me the hell out. I like to work remote. And, like I say, some people don't like to work remote. They like a break from the people they live with. To each their own. For me, I saw more conflict working with others in an office or in a ditch than I have seen in conflict remote work. See, guys, I've been in the workforce for 20 plus years, and I've seen HR called when everyone has to show up at an office. Okay. I've seen fights on the job site, but working remote, the worst I've seen is someone on a toilet bowl on a Zoom meeting and everyone laughed. And you know what I said? Working remote is heaven. That's what I said, just like that. And so if the worst you see is someone on the bathroom or cursing out their spouse in the background or their dog barking, hey guys, I'd rather that than HR being called, than people catty fighting in the cubicle, than a drunk foreman stumbling after, After a lunch break, stumbling on a thing. Yeah, he's late from lunch, but if you're late in the morning, he'll crucify you. You know those type of people, right? So, hey, look, guys, you do what you got to do to get where you need to get. Okay. And you're thankful for everyone you met along the journey. You're not better than everyone. But you don't do what you need to do so you can stay where you're at. Okay. And if you're living with people who ain't supporting your dreams, you're living in hell. Because they're basically telling you with their body language, like this chick was telling me back in the day, that they're not into you. Huh. Yeah, they're thankful that you're here to take care of the house, that you're sleeping with them at night or whatever, but they don't give a fuck about what you're really like. They don't care. You know, they're thankful that you married them, you know, maybe whatever. You helped them, you know, do this, do that. But they're not passionate about you. They don't really care about your dreams, your goals. You know, they want to know maybe what you want for dinner, but they don't want to know about what you want for your life. Okay. Who cares what you want for dinner? Okay. What do you want for your life? Okay. And I'll tell you, those are some serious questions. I don't think people are serious about it. How? I need to know housekeeping, and I have management experience in order to even be a GM. Well, okay, fair enough, fair point. That's a fair point, you know, and all right. So if you see a way that you could package and leverage your time at the hospital, I'm not mad at that. I just want you to think about that. So if you've thought about that and you realize that you could package it and leverage it, then I'm not mad at it. And I only say these things because I want you to do what you want to do in a good, healthy, responsible way. All right, guys and girls, who's out there watching live feeds of people who start the live feed, then they wait 15 minutes for everyone to come in a live chat? Who's out there, okay, watching live feeds with 20 blue wrenches? Okay. Who is out there? Okay. I see Cartoon Mark, he's fully engaged on his live chat, but he's driving. Be careful driving with those live chats, Cartoon Mark. Because remember, even though I enjoy those live chats, when people come in the live, the number one thing they want is someone to talk to. The number one thing they want is someone to talk to. They really, even the people I got a gift to give, people don't want to hear what I got to say. They want to hear, oh, let's talk. All right, so let's talk. This is also what Hal's got to say. I'm the most engaged YouTuber. He goes, Sam, you are the man. Well, I appreciate that gracious compliment. I'm still flawed, but I love you. I appreciate you. Hal, keep being real. Well, I appreciate that. And that's what I'm trying to do, guys. When I say all these things, I'm not trying to do it to put myself in any, I'm trying to tell you so I talk to you like an adult. Okay. Because believe me, I can talk to you like a baby. Okay. And I understand, and I don't want to just talk to you mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I know it could come across that way. I'm trying, because I only got whatever, an hour. I go live more than most people do anything the entire day. So, I mean, guys, I'm the most engaged YouTuber. I hate to say it. So, let's say positive. Twister, what's up, brother? Ironically, I'm practicing, let's take positive. He goes, ironically, I'm practicing my interview answers right now. I'm so nervous about these questions, Sams. I feel like not good enough. Well, that's negative self-talk. Remember, if you feel bad about yourself, the person interviewing you will not feel good about you. However, I failed in a few interviews, and the only way you get better is to fail. So guess what? Get ready to fail. Why? Because that's how you succeed. And so where are you applying? To Starbucks? What's your next step in the right direction? Because remember, there's two parts about applying. You want to apply in the industry you want to work, and then you want to apply for a role, okay, that plays to your skill sets or pushes you to advance your skill sets. Okay. So Twister, we already know those who are engaged in these live chats on a daily basis. We know you got what it takes. And we know that good people tend to feel the worst about themselves, and psychopaths tend to love themselves. Psychopaths, guys, they love themselves. They're delusional narcissists. And good people are usually empathetic enablers. And that's why I try to find a balance in between. Okay? Yeah, that's right. That's why I don't talk to you like Joel Osteen, because that's not going to do it. Okay? But I also don't talk to you like Trump. Why? Because that's not going to do it. You need to find some balance. Okay? Not easy. I know it's not easy. So I don't say these things to be hurtful. That's not my goal. Okay. My goal is to wake you up out of your slumber. Okay. My goal is to get you to stop taking naps, stop watching crime documentaries, stop watching horror movies, get engaged in your life. If not, you're going to be living with other people with horrible mental health. It's going to be a toxic, drug infested, emotionally abusive hellhole. And you're going to take that same mindset to your mother's house, to your brother's house, to your shared apartment's house. Because remember, your environment can change, but your habits stay the same. So if you're drinking, smoking, playing the drums, watching horror movies, that's fine. If that's what you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with the drums, but you guys know what I'm saying. You're taking yourself wherever you go. Okay. Always remember, it's very important. Twista, I signed up for Engineering Career Expo. It's going to have a ton of high up engineering companies. I'm planning to shoot my shot for top 10 favorites. I didn't tell you recently, Sam, because I'm really nervous and don't know if I will succeed. All right, so you signed up for an engineering expo, okay, which is like a job fair, basically, for engineers. Okay. And I know you're going to school. I didn't know. I thought it may be engineering. Going to school for engineering, you're working at Dunkin' Donuts. One is, it's good to shoot for the moon. Remember, even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. Two is, remember, get your foot in the door, even if it's a security job at an engineering firm. Okay. You don't have to be a junior engineer. You got to work for a company that works in engineering. See, instead of working for Dunkin' Donuts, you should become a security job officer at John LaSalle or CBR Richard Nellis. You should get hooked up with property management companies that may have engineering departments. And whatever job you can get with that company in that industry, you should get. You're not going to become a lead engineer in a job expo. It's good. You should get the experience and you should network. But I want to tell you, the main thing you should do at that expo is look at the companies. And those companies, go on their website or their LinkedIn, because a lot of companies now that you can't even apply on their website, you got to go LinkedIn. And you need to look at what jobs they have, period. And get your foot in the door, period. When you're young with no experience, even if you got education, you need experience. And the only way to get experience is to get your foot in the door, not to get your best position you dream of. Because once you get your foot in the door, you show up, other people stop showing up. Other people have family problems. They have relationship problems. They don't come in consistently. They want to work remote, then they work remote, then they want to come back to the office, and you're sitting there showing up every day. And what are you doing? You're building reliability. If you're an engineer, you better know about reliability because that's how you analyze risk. Engineering is analyzing risk, okay, and how to build something. And the number one thing you need to analyze is what structure, what chemical, what materials are reliable. Which ones are volatile? The reliable worker is part of the engineering of a good company. The unreliable worker is like vinegar in his employee's eyes or her employee's eyes. A scripture says that. So, Twista, I tell you to put your footloose Michael Jackson shoes on and get your foot in the door. And when you get your foot in the door, put on your Black Moon Smith & Wesson Timberland boots and keep your foot in the door. And when you get your foot in the door, don't play the drums. Don't wake up all the psychopaths. Stay low key. Just keep moving around, showing up. Watch people fall off. Then move up. Then assert yourself. Then empower yourself. Then live by yourself. Because the only thing that can destroy your life is you move all the way up the ladder. You move all the way up the ladder but you come back to hell. I know people very successful, very smart people. They live in hell. Why? I'm not going to say just because they live with others. I'm going to say because it's not easy living with others. Okay, never forget it. Twister, thank you, Sam. I appreciate and will use your advice. Thank you. I will say this event is aimed at college students and recent grads, so I feel like I have a shot. Well, like I say, the main thing I want you to do is take notes on the companies, then follow up. Follow up after the expo. Why? The expo is nothing more than a tax deduction. It's a traveling trip for all the people who are in charge, the recruiters, all the people that are in charge of hiring people. They're trying to get away from their family. And all they're doing is writing that off a tax deduction. They're staying at a hotel on their company's dime, watching porn, drinking alcohol in the hotel lobby. And then they say, oh, did you see these kids? Did you see these kids? All you're trying to do is get someone to remember you, but really what you need to do is write down on your phone or on an iPad. Every expo that you go to, you should go with a laptop, a phone, something that you're taking notes. You should be writing down the company and writing down the name of the people you speak to and then following up. If you don't follow up, nothing happens. If you think you're going there and they're going to be impressed with you, you forget that they are people on a business trip to get away from their family. They volunteered for the job. They're at a hotel. They flew coach, okay? And they are happier flying coach than they are living with their family. Guys, I hate flying. Guys, let's stay positive tonight. I want to tell you this. Let's stay positive. I get upset. All right, let's stay positive. Cartoon Mark. Some days I wished I lived alone. I miss a quiet house. Well, Cartoon Mark, that's an excellent comment. But it's a comment that has two sides. Okay. Why? Because I've met many people that they want to be alone, but then they're alone and they don't want to be alone. It's the ultimate duality of life. Okay. Oh, Jordan, happier in coach. I tell you, Jordan, you know what it is. You're from Naples. Okay. I know you're living in Tennessee, but you're in Naples. You're elitist. And all my elitists know, flying coach, okay, is like taking a bus in the sky, okay? And you know, like, if you ever took the bus or if you ever drove coach or flew coach, you know, like I know, you almost don't want to get the vaccine just so you can't fly. Why? Because, guys, to me, I like driving everywhere. Why? Because I like to be in control. And I like to have my own self-contained environment. I don't like to travel with other people. I took a bus, okay, from New Jersey to Washington, D.C. when I was younger. I took a train from New Jersey to Florida. And then I took a plane from Florida to New Jersey. Why? I don't like traveling with other people. And even people I love. I'm the type of person, I got to be alone. And that's a great message. Thank you, Jordan. I respect you. I appreciate you. Twister, I'm the most engaged. Thank you for the perspective, Sam. Shout out to you. It's definitely eased my nerves. Yeah, don't worry about it. Believe me, they're not really there to hire mass amount of people. They're there on a business expense trying to get out of their house. Never forget it. Chris, what's up, brother? Yo, Diamond, in the house. Chris, you know what it is. Who's the most engaged camper vanner in Ocala? That's you. Who's the most engaged YouTuber? That's me. Who are we? Well, we're connecting with each other, but we're not living with each other. Why? Because, Chris, me and you know it's best to live alone. Gianna, you're so right, Sam. It is like saying you can't live with them and you can't live without them. Yeah, someone once told me that about a woman. And I said, look, I have a deep respect for women. I see a beautiful woman, or I just meet nice women. I love the balance of a woman. Women can be nasty, men can be nasty, so I don't put anyone on a pedestal. But what I want to tell you is this. I can live without a woman, but at the same time, I say that if I didn't have relationships with women and my mom, I'd probably be like a men going their own way, psychopath who watches horror movies and so nasty. But at the same time, if I was just around women all the time, I'd probably be like my sister, cursing my mom, because women curse women. So what do I try to do? I try to find balance. I try to find balance. $8 revenue up. Realist, who's the most engaged out there? Get my conservative accountant on the phone. Realist, $8 super chat. Sam, I found your channel 2 weeks ago. Dig the content, man. Thank you. I had a YouTube channel, but they deleted it. Well, I want to know why. Because I spoke offensively about men going their own way. Thank you for telling me. Patrick, shout out to you. Well, look, you really got to lay into someone, I would think, to get deplatformed. However, I don't know both sides of the story. What I want to tell you is this. Is that, everyone has their own way to get through life. Okay. And you're not going to change people's philosophy. And I empathize with you, Realist, because I have gotten very vocal at times and still do about pushing back on the philosophy that doesn't sit right in my spirit. And I'll still do it, and you should still do it. But I want you to remember, don't dedicate a whole channel to bashing men going their own way or supporting men going their own way. I see people have a whole channel, their YouTube name is named that. And don't create a whole channel about politics. I mean, even me, I created a channel. It's called Inspirational Nomad, but the description just says inspiration. Because I talk about anything from inflation to nomad life to living with others. Because I don't want to be cornered into trying to just be stuck on one thing. You have to be able to get over things. And what I've found with the men going their own way, that love-hate relationship, either people totally support or totally hate it, is that it's too intense with regards to the extremism. Okay. And I do believe in life you have to be extreme to get things done. I do believe that men going their own way have some valid points. I do believe that people against them have valid points. But I think the most valid point is that, do you disagree with people if it doesn't sit right, but don't worry about people too much because you don't live with them. When you're really mad at a woman, to me, I don't know why you would do a whole channel about men going their own way. Just don't live with them, or get a vasectomy or get a prenup. And if you really don't like men, to me, live with your daughter. So, look, guys, there's so many ways you can live life, okay? And there's a lot of ways that you can live life. And most people, what they do by default is get a service dog, okay? Because the service dog they can control, and it may have some value, but you gotta be careful. God bless you, everyone. Thank you very much. Gianna, you're so right, Sam. I read this right. Thank you. Chris said, Class B living in paradise. Hope you're doing well. Well, shout out to you, Chris. Yeah, overall, I'm doing well. One day at a time. I'm still, I'm doing good. I'll just say that. I thank you, brother. And Realist, I thank you for that gracious tip. Shout out to you. And thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching my channel. Gianna. But I do have to say, I am appreciating that my house is a lot more quieter since 3 out of my, wow, you have 6 kids? 3 out of your 6 kids have moved out. It really feels good. Wow. One is, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, it's a huge testimony. I can't even imagine all the different stories you have with 6 kids. I'm one of 3 siblings. And then the other thing is, 3 out, 3 in. I don't know. That I tell you, Gianna, all I could tell you is, you got a testimony. You got a YouTube channel in the works. What should your YouTube channel be called? 6 kids. Shit. Yeah, just like that. That's 6 kids, and then I'll put the word shit. But I wouldn't put SHIT. I would put SH Dookie emoji T so you don't get deplatformed. Why? Because I'll tell you right now, guys, if you're strolling through your YouTube recommendations and you see someone that says their tag name is 6 kids, oh shit, or something like that, like I want to know what they got to say. Gianna's Baby World Reborn. Like, I'm like, uh-oh, is this person religious? What they trying to do? They got a bunch of baby dolls in their house. It's like on some psychopath stuff. Shout out to my girl Queen. Now, she has some baby dolls. I love Queen, but she also had a stroke. And we love you, Queen. I don't know if she still watches. But all I can tell you, Gianna, is I think you're a testimony just for keeping your sanity. Because one is you've come in here, and I'm sure you got your own issues, but you've never really been at all like negative. You never said anything like bad. So I got to give credit to anyone who can live with other people and stay somewhat sane and positive. Now, I also know enough to say I'm not going to put you on a pedestal. Because if I interview your kids, they may say, that's not Gianna Baby Reborn. That's Satan's sister. You never know until you ask the other person the other side of the story. But remember, I'm not Judge Judy. Okay. And remember, Judge Judy can only reward you $10,000 because that's small claims court. Remember, another sign that someone is on some psychopath stuff is if they always talking about suing someone. Because, guys, suing someone, it's a very long process, very costly, and most of the time it's not worth it. So you got to think about the psychopath who says, I'm going to sue. Well, that basically means you're going to waste 3 years of your life, like, trying to get $2,000. Like, guys, like, that's, like, totally, like, insane. And, we start playing the drums, like, doo, 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 so it's like, God, someone put the drums and, it starts to get crazy, it's like, let's take it easy. All right, let's take out your spirit. I don't have no more water. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, Christina. Hey, Christina. Life is variety. Well, life's a variety show. Yeah, it's like a sitcom. And I'll tell you, there's a lot to laugh at. I'll tell you that much. John's laughing good. Laughter's good for soul. Twister laughing good. Laughter's good for soul. Twister fire emoji. Thank you. John's laughing good. All right, guys and girls, let me get off this stage before they start throwing shit at me. Why? Because believe me, you can overstay your welcome. At your mom's house, which I've done before. At your lover's house, which I've done before. And at my house, which you've done before. Yeah, some people watching in the background act like I don't know you. I see it. So, I want to tell you, okay, all of us can overstay our welcome. And even me now, like, I'm at the point where, weeks go on, I'm getting closer and closer, ready to go to live my life. Why? Because that's who I am, and I'm an adult. And if you have the ability, and if you're adult, it's time to just move on with your life. All right. Thank you for watching.